Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on New Superman issue number 1. Now, as you know, this series is meant to follow Con Keenan, who is meant to be the Chinese version of Superman, where China is trying to create its own superheroes. And the cover has him basically holding on to his victim while holding the number 1 of the first issue. And it starts off how someone is running and pretty much says, "Stop, alright, to stop. That's for making me chase you." And turns out our main hero, Con Keenan, is stealing pretty much this nerdy guy's lunch. And turns out that his parents pretty much run the airport but don't own it. And he says to him about telling his mum to make him lunch worth stealing. And so he gets annoyed and throws his lunch at him. And he says, "Oh, somebody's aching to die today." And chases him, which ends up with him being confronted by Blue Condor, which is obviously meant to be China's own equivalent to Black Condor. And pretty much says run and throws a soda can at him while everyone watches, and pretty much says, "Guess I'm the somebody who's aching to die." And so pretty much flies off, well, without really doing anything else. And so his victim pretty much gives him his money and that. And so you've got the Chinese version of Lois Lane, who wants to do an interview with him, and pretty much is amazed by her beauty, and pretty much a secret agency see that he's worth it, and says he's the one. And so pretty much after hitting on her and getting the address, he's like, "But you're just my type." And so he goes to his father's repair shop. Even one of his father's workers asks about getting his autograph and that, and goes to see his father, who is not happy with everything that he's just done, and pretty much knows that he picked on the kid in that, and knows that he's just taking his anger out on the airport and that because of everything that happened, and says that he can't come to the interview because he's with his book club talking about the Ministry of Self-Reliance, and pretty much says, "Dad, don't you get it? I could have died today." And I get it that his father's trying to say what you did doesn't really count, and I'm more disappointed that you just made yourself look like an idiot. And so even berates him about confronting the kid he was tormenting and that, and so leaves off, sadly, going to his mother's grave, who turns out was meant to was on the flight with the airliner that was owned by the victim's father and that. So it turns out this shady woman knows who he is and wants him a part of the project to become the Chinese version of Superman, and even shows the new 52 version of Superman. And keep in mind, during the whole DC Rebirth run, eventually post-Crisis Superman and New 52 Superman did fuse and became a new version, and pretty much wants him to be part of the new project, and so has the kind of chamber set up, him going inside, and has second thoughts, but they kind of make him a part of the project, which has his mum basically falling down to her potential death, Keenan basically, as Superman, going to rescue her, saying, "Hang on, Mum, I won't let you die." And so, pretty much, they decide to turn it off and that, but the main woman doesn't want to. And it ends up with Keenan becoming Superman, as they found a way to duplicate the abilities, with him having super flight, X-ray vision, and all that, and even calls on the Chinese versions of Superman and Wonder Woman, and pretty much ending the story there. So I would say the issue isn't too bad. I would say it's interesting that China is creating its own versions of the Justice League, and it would be interesting to see Marvel do the same with Japan creating its own version of superheroes. And I do feel Keenan is a bit of an unlikable character, but I know as the issues go on, they do make him a little more likable, but not completely. So the issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.